Okay. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. If this is your first time here, feel free to smash that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out on a video every single Wednesday. I am so excited to have you all here to tell you my story about how I dropped out of college. This is not clickbait, this is real, this did happen to me, and it is my story that I am sharing with all of you today. So stick around if you'd like to hear more. Okay, so let's flash back to my senior year in high school. Around October time is when I was supposed to be applying to colleges. At this time, I wasn't 100% sure about what I wanted to do for school. I've always known since I was a little girl that I wanted to be a teacher, so I knew to be a teacher, I have to go to college. But I didn't know if that meant for me community college or going to a Cal State University. The reason for this was because I wasn't exactly sure if I was ready to leave home, if I wanted to stay here for a little while, take my time, or if I wanted to go straight to college. But I wanted to prepare for all scenarios just in case. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel at the end of my senior year. So with that being said, I applied to the California State University of Northridge. And I applied there because of the special program that they have for the degree that I am pursuing. So I applied to CSUN, and obviously you have to wait until your spring semester of your senior year to find out whether you get accepted or not. But by that point, I was pretty set on going straight to CSUN. I kind of cut community college out of the mix. I did not want to do that anymore. I was ready. I felt like I was ready to go off on my own to a university and live my life independently, is basically what I thought. So I get a letter in the mail from CSUN saying that I was accepted, and I was extremely excited. I was so stoked. It is a really cool feeling to get that letter in the mail saying you've been accepted to the college that you want to go to. It's the only college that I applied to, so I knew that I wanted to go there if I was going to Cal State University at all. So I knew in my head that I did not want to go in the dorms, which was my first mistake, truthfully. Not dorming is a really bad idea if you're going to school in a place where you don't know anyone. So I decided I didn't want to be in the dorms because I was nervous about getting a roommate that I didn't get along with or being in an uncomfortable situation with people I wasn't comfortable with, which was really weird for me because I am an outgoing person. I don't really have that hard of a time making friends, so I shouldn't have been as nervous as I was, but I was just really scared, and I completely threw that situation out, and I was just not having it. I was not going to dorm, is what I put into my head. So at that point, my parents and I started looking at apartments around the CSUN area, and we did find an apartment complex right across the street from the school, so it was perfect for me to walk to school, all that stuff. But with an apartment comes a lot of expenses, so I wasted a lot of money on that apartment, buying furniture, buying decorations, putting the down payment on the apartment, the application fee, all of those things. That's a lot of money that literally just went down the drain that I wish so badly I could get back, because now that I'm older and a little bit more responsible, I would definitely put that money to better use. But moving on. So I moved into the apartment at the end of July. So that's when I moved into the apartment. I started working a job on campus, and at the same time as I was doing that, I was working at 24 Hour Fitness in Northridge. When I was working there and going to school, I was working about 50 hours a week, including my on-campus job and 24 Hour Fitness combined. It was really intense, just for me, because I was transitioning into the college schoolwork at the same time as I was working a lot, and it was just a lot of things combined together, and it was too much for me to handle at the time. Normally I'm really good in those situations, but it was just very uncomfortable for me, I have 2 new jobs, I'm going to school, I don't know anyone, I am just now adjusting to the workload of college, and it was just insane. I personally could not get a grasp on what I was supposed to be doing, I couldn't find a happy medium for myself to get everything done. I was just really struggling. So because I had no friends, because I didn't know anyone, I tried to join a sorority. Well, I did join a sorority, and I loved it. I loved the people. They were really kind to me, and they were so awesome. I stayed until the point where I got my big, and it was just a very awesome experience. I didn't stay long enough for me to get initiated, but I was there for a couple months, and I met a lot of awesome people, which, by the way, I miss very much. But with a sorority comes expenses. So now we have our Oh God. So now we have groceries, we have gas, we have oil changes, we have anything else that you need to pay for, shampoo, conditioner, cleaners, literally the most random things that you wouldn't expect to pay for, but you have all those, and now on top of that you have your sorority dues. And sorority dues are very, very, very expensive, especially when you're at a university and when sororities are a big deal. And I was supposed to be paying for the sorority on my own. And I could have, but if I did, I would have starved to death and I wouldn't have had gas, so I would have been a hermit crab in my apartment. So it was just not good. It was really bad. Just a bad situation financially, I guess you could say. So I was not prepared financially for what was going to come my way when I moved on my own. Being financially stable when you move on your own is a very important thing. Money, you just need money. You need money to live. You need money to be able to do things. And I was just absolutely miserable. You know, I'm making money, but then all my money is going away. So I'm working so hard, working 50 hours a week, but then all this money has to go away because I have to pay for the things that I'm responsible for because I live on my own, if that makes sense, you know? So all these things combined, I was really stressed out. It wasn't the best time in my life, so I'm all stressed out. Now I'm slacking in school. Now I suck at school, okay? I've never really sucked at school. I've always been pretty good. I have really good grades, but once I got to college in this situation, it was not good for me. I wasn't doing well. So we fast forward to October. This is right before Halloween. I come back to my hometown and I'm shopping for Halloween costumes with my best friend, and my card gets declined. Okay. Now, when this happens, I'm like, this should not be getting declined. Like, I have some money in my account. There's no reason why my card should be getting declined. So I check it out, I look what it was, and it was some sort of fee from some sort of website, whatever. And at that point, I literally had a mental breakdown. I was like, I can't do this. Like, if I cannot afford a fee that comes out of my bank account and I can't even buy like a simple accessory for my Halloween costume, how am I living on my own? What am I doing right now? Like, this is just insane. So then I had a sit-down conversation with my mom, cried my eyes out because I was so stressed out and so unhappy in the situation that I was in. And I told her, I was like, look, I need to come home. I can't be in Northridge anymore. I can't afford living on my own. I need to come home now. So we talked about it. She said, okay, if that's what you feel like you need to do. I came home, and by the way, CSUN is only 45 minutes away from my hometown, so I was still planning on commuting to school so that way I could still continue my education is what was happening. So I'm living at home, starting to commute to CSUN, but of course, at the times that I would go to school and come home from school are rush hour traffic in LA. It's literally, LA is the worst as far as traffic goes when you're on the freeways, and I just so happen to be going to school at the worst morning traffic time and coming home at the worst evening traffic time. So that wasn't working out for me either, and I was just getting really frustrated by it. I was really picky, I'm being very honest. I was very picky about my situation that I was in, and I just could not handle it. I did not want to deal with it. I was like, dude, this is pointless. That's just what I kept thinking all the time. I was like, this is pointless. Why am I doing this? I'm so unhappy. I still have bad grades. What's the point? I commuted to school for a week, and then I kept telling my mom that I was still commuting to school, and I wasn't anymore. I stopped going. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be there. It's just not what I wanted at all. Like, I literally hated it. I was miserable going, and I just felt like I could do something better with my time than go down to Northridge for school. So eventually I grew the cojones to talk to my mom and tell her that I wanted to drop my classes. She agreed. We talked, we discussed certain details, and so I decided to drop my classes at CSUN. I was taking 4 classes: English, biology, math, and music. That's what it was. So I dropped all 4 classes. I was no longer commuting to Northridge. I was no longer going to CSUN, and I was not enrolled in school anymore at all. And this happened in about November. So, I mean, I guess the semester was almost over, but I did not complete the semester. And this is my first semester of college. Couldn't get through it. But then I was like, okay, I obviously need to go to school. Like, that's what I need to do for the career that I want. I want to be a teacher. I know I want to be a teacher, so I need to be going to school. So I enrolled in my local community college, and now I'm taking classes there. I just completed my first semester of college, technically. I guess it's my second semester, but if we're talking about real, like finishing a full semester, this was my first semester of college, and I just finished with straight A's, so that was really exciting. I'm very excited to continue to pursue my education now. The moral of the story is that at the time that I wanted to move to Northridge and was going to CSUN, it was not the time for me personally to leave home. A lot of people are able to leave home right out of high school, go to the university, no problem. And a lot of other people also get to the position that I was in, but they were able to push through it and just work through it, continue to go to school, and then things get better. But for me, because I was so close to home, it made it really difficult to just kind of push through it. I was just constantly coming home all the time because I was so close. So it just wasn't time for me to leave home. I was very unhappy. But now I'm doing really well. I am holding jobs. I am in school. I'm doing well in school. And I have a better plan for myself, and I'm doing better financially, all of the above. So I wanted to post this video to explain to people it's okay to go straight to community college, and it's okay to go straight to a university. It is completely about you personally. It's not about what your friends are doing. It's not about what everyone else is doing. It is about you. I really thought that I could handle it. I thought that I would be just fine, but I wasn't, and I couldn't handle it, and I wasn't prepared for it at all, and that's why I came home. It is what it is. So if you are considering community college but feel like it's like, oh, community college, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a different track. Life does not have a specific order to it. It doesn't have rules. You are able to go to community college and get the same exact degree. It changes nothing. And yeah, that is my point of this video. I just wanted to share with you guys my personal story, my college experience so far. I'm still a freshman in college, so we're not that far into it, but that is what has happened to me in my university experience and my community college experience so far. That is the end of our story time today. I'm so happy that you guys were all here to watch this with me. I was really nervous to make it, but I'm actually really excited to share this story with you. So with that being said, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so that way you don't miss out on a video every single Wednesday. I was so glad to have you all here today. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.